Peace and blessings, family. Welcome again to Breaking Cycles. I'm the host, Nico Giovanni, and y'all know we've been having a lot of conversation. I had a lot of brothers up here, but I most certainly didn't want to leave out the young queens and princesses within the community because they're at a crisis too. So I wanted to make sure that we was having a balanced conversation, and I got the one and only, the beautiful Brianna Suggs.
Hello.
Miss Black Ohio, not to be confused with any of you other chump states. So no, I'm just playing. But thank you, Brianna. You want me to call you Bri or Brianna, or what they call
you? Whatever is comfortable.
Okay. Brianna, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, the conversation that I like to have is geared toward young men, only because I feel like that's my expertise. But your expertise is the empowerment of young women everywhere. So I want to have you on here, so thank you for coming.
Yes.
How you been?
Yeah, well, first, thank you so much for having me. It's been a great journey for sure, but
Okay.
I'm grateful to be here, and
Yeah, I'm gonna just
one of these.
wow.
Oh.
I love the dress. You know.
Thanks.
Look like I might have styled you.
My homegirl got this for me for $3.
Nah. Shout out homegirl. Shout her out.
Faith Nixon, okay?
Hey.
That's my shopping girl.
Okay.
And Deja.
That's what's up. So, how long have you been in the pageantry? Because it's not always as accessible activity or commitment to our young black girls in our community. Or maybe it is. How did you get into this world of empowering young women?
Yeah, well, I didn't actually get into pageantry until I was an adult. Now I had a child, and so I was well into school. I moved to Ohio about 4 years ago, and I was heavily invested in education because I came here through TFA, Teach for America, AmeriCorps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they helped me just kind of get into like shift from early childhood education into like public school, and that really was a different shift. And so I invested a lot of my time and energy into second grade, learning how to teach little kids how to read. That's a whole different skill, you know.
Right.
That learn like phonics and phoneme, all that. And so I was really just invested into that. And then shortly after, I had my daughter, Amina. And, just like being a mother, it takes so much out of you, just being able to just put, it's so much in a beautiful way to pour into your being. But I just think that I was so invested into the youth and the community and growing their minds. I kind of like took a step back for myself, and me getting into pageantry was like, this is me trying to
reclaim it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And show other people it, regardless of whatever time, it's never too late or to go into things that you're interested in.
Because it must be nice, you pop up on a pageant scene and get your banners and like, no. People like, I've been doing this my whole life. But it's a testament to when you really introspect and you want to know yourself better.
For sure.
And I think that's the message I want to give to little girls everywhere. So thank you for your commitment to that. So you said early childhood education, which is, y'all know I'm a big fan. The studies show that there is, it's night and day to the success of young children who have access to early education. I'm talking about by miles. And so, how does that connect to what you do socially and professionally, as well as being a mom? Like, how do you juggle all three?
Yeah, so having that education background at first kind of just gave me more perspective about how to learn, learning how to learn, and like little kids learning how to learn, like okay, this is what they're exploring, this is what they're processing right now. And so me and as an adult seeing how a lot of black and brown children, a lot of vulnerable children are in situations where childhood isn't, early education isn't invested in as much. And so you see the lack thereof. While we have resources, we have places, but the rigor or quality isn't always
consistent either.
Yeah, and so that also inspired me to be like, okay, I really want to pour myself into these communities, into my work, into literacy for young people. And so using my platform as Miss Black Ohio, now as a Miss Black America delegate, I really want to make sure that using literacy in that way kind of helps me advocate for those who don't have the resources, or even reminding those like, okay, what purpose, what good can really be impacted for these youth that.
And literacy is so important because a lot of people might hear it, but to know that there's an average 6th grade reading level across the country is mind-boggling. But then you see kind of where we are in the political culture and economic culture and things, it start to add up. So what are some of the, because this is breaking cycles. Well, first, where you go to school at?
Okay, so I go to University of Dayton.
UD?
Yeah,
I like UD. I know about UD folks. What up?
Yeah, that's what's up.
Go Bearcats. But no, man.
That's Michigan.
No, for sure.
Another alma mater.
For sure.
But yes, I go to UD, University.
Okay. You like it there?
Yeah, I really love it. I'm actually a graduate assistant at the MEC program. Shout out MEC.
Okay.
And it's just really like, it brought me back to my experience in my previous grad school, and just with community, with connection. Of course, there's been a lot of trying things happening on campus. We've experienced a lot of things throughout this year, and just historically at PWIs. And so being able to work in an organization that truly invests into equity and, well, you can say that.
Favorite word.
I say, you can't say that. But,
equity.
it feels good. So yes, I very much enjoy UD.
Okay, because you're very, very accomplished. I'm proud to know you. What were some of the, because we want to keep it a buck on here. It's a lot of young men and women listening. What were some of those major obstacles or cycles that you were able to recognize from starting your journey into education to where you are now? Like, what are some major obstacles that you found?
I really from very early on, I kind of noticed systemic barriers. Just seeing I first noticed it when I was in the 6th grade, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out Milwaukee. I'm from Milwaukee, and so I went to a very segregated school. Milwaukee is one of the top segregated cities, and so me going from a predominantly white school to a predominantly black school was a culture shift, because I was they used to call me Oreo, but I couldn't.
I ain't mean it. I wouldn't expect. But it's Milwaukee.
Right. Well, I guess that was when I moved, bro. But when I got to Milwaukee, that's when it was so I changed in a sense, but I noticed that the curriculum was a little bit behind. I noticed I'm getting 100 and something in math. We've done this already. Comparing school districts, and some things I've researched later on in my career is where schools are funded, property taxes. How do we fund schools where homeowners, there's a whole thing, and noticing these differences as far as how we fund schools. And that's something to think about. Maybe that's something different, how the reallocation could happen. And so those are things that I think about as an educator, as a, working with people in policy, and what kind of things can we do to really serve those with the most need.
No, that makes sense, because I think it's crazy it was 6th grade, because I feel that's tragic to me, because as a sixth grader, you shouldn't be noticing those, but it's so intrinsically into the fabric of everything in our society. I think we do a disservice when we start to feel like the system is too big to oppose or try to deconstruct and make better. And so, well, how did you overcome these cycles? Because I mean, racism ain't stop. Systems ain't stop being effective. Well, how do you maintain your sense of self, your sense of identity, and still be able to walk in all of these rooms and just parlay?
First, I would say it took a lot of getting to know myself, really getting to know my identity, building more confidence within myself. You know, as a young black girl, like wanting to change so many things, but realizing, oh, this might be a Eurocentric beauty standard. You know, and I'm not. I don't want things to sound just like black and white because it's beyond that.
It is.
And so, you know, just realizing that there are not having representation does impact how you feel about yourself, and so. I want to, one, show up in the community, but just remind young girls and just to remind the community that we hold our own self-confidence, our own power, and how we choose to represent and show others how, you know, give them that confidence by being that representation.
You your own superpower. It's like the further away from yourself that you go trying to facilitate and maintain a facade, you lose your powers. You lose all your powers, and then that's when the identity crisis is too much. You running into a lot of depression. We all will get all of these emotions in this human experience, but I think that's when things come to a head and we get these big life-changing moments. You said motherhood. How old is your daughter?
She's 3.
She's 3. Mm-hmm. Boss baby age.
Yeah.
You know, tell you everything that's going on, and you can't.
You know, at first I was like, does it? After 2, I was like, it gets worse. But
oh.
I was like, I'm appreciative. That she talks now. It's like, okay, that's cool. And
that's the one right there.
Yeah.
We can communicate. We can get somewhere.
Yeah.
Mine's 5. She's still unrealistic with conversational goals. But to your point, it's happening so fast that I know I'm a miss having this time. So I'm trying to just throw myself into it. Because before you know it, she be trying to be Miss Black Ohio. And I'm like, yeah, I just had she had her first little Christmas show shit did. And I literally just a puddle. I got my flowers. I'm like, baby. Yeah. Then she see me and she's like, So it's important that she sees as much of this as possible. How do we break through? Well, how do us men, I love that you said that it goes deeper than that than just black and white. I think everybody, black, white, whatever, deserves to know self, love self, and be self, unapologetically. And that takes introspection. But I want to talk about how I ain't really big on creating a conversation where it's black men versus black women. I hate it. I think it's counterproductive, and I think it's a tool of the enemy. But how can us black men, and I'm only asking us black men because I can only speak for us, but how can us black men make sure that, how can we support them in ways that it don't feel like we're supporting? I'm trying to lie.
Yeah, no, I think, honestly, I think one is supporting yourself first. I mean, I think that a lot of black men experience a lot of things in this country, and so if they are navigating this world, having to face racism, having to face economic hardships when a lot of black men have been put as unable to secure jobs, higher paying jobs. Not saying, just noticing that there is a lot of oppression that black men face. If you don't take care of yourself, how can you truly love someone else who's also facing the intersections of oppression? And so get therapy, black men. Reach out, talk to people. Don't be afraid to cry because, it's okay to be held and loved and to say that you love others and to love those who love you. Like, I think it starts with really just from within first.
No, cry. I tell, look, because I tell my sons, I got 3 boys, I tell them, if you feel like crying, let it out. And then they release it, right? And me and my brother, we had to hold it. And we don't know to this day how much that affect our relationships in and outside of work or in and outside of life or with our family. It really affect our ability to become good communicators. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, therapy works for everybody. Everybody think they got the answers. Nobody got the answers, okay? But there are professionals who know how to equip you for traumas that you don't even know that you are dealing with. And so, thank you for that, because they might not listen to it coming from me. No, I'm not as beautiful as you. So they might, but Miss Black Ohio is telling y'all right now, therapy is okay. Therapy is very important to us propelling into the future in a healthy way. So, where are we in the process? How we get you Miss Black Globe? What do we do? Tell us.
Okay. Well, follow my Instagram. Okay. No, seriously. Sure. It's Brianna MBOA. I'm kind of new with. I mean, not new. Like, I've been on Facebook for like a decade. But like, navigating social media. It's like something. So support is much appreciated. Mm-hmm. I think I'm in they see it but don't touch it phase, because I'm noticing like, I'm getting a lot of views on, but they ain't kind of scared. It's cool. It's all right, y'all.
We on the creek.
Don't be scared. But yeah, so Miss Black Ohio 2024-2025 are going to be having another pageant this 2026, so stay tuned for information on that. For Miss Black America, we are having a pageant from February 15th to 22nd in Houston, Delaware. There has been some changes, so be on the lookout. More details coming soon, but yes, we have some
Delaware, February. On the way. I will make sure the links is available. Make sure y'all sign up, support, and then in whatever way you can, and pull up.
Hey.
Pull up. We want to see all of the beautiful people. I might just be in the building. We might have to set up the camera and do some interview. Mm-hmm. Always that. So I heard you say, your social outreach bone been in effect, and I noticed that I see you doing some very warm things like provide meals for the good citizens of Cincinnati, and we got a big unhoused demographic in the city, and anytime I hear about people engaged in that kind of work, I want y'all to put me to work. So tell us about some of the stuff you've been doing in the community, because I want people to know how active and frontline you are.
Yeah. Well, I've had people in my life impacted by homelessness, and so having that and seeing the direct impact of that just kind of inspired me to kind of do a little bit more beyond education. I still show up in my work, but I was like, what can we do? The holidays are coming up, and so I love to cook, and most people say I can cook pretty well.
We should have requested something.
Next time.
All right. Wait, hold on. Top dish, favorite thing to cook?
It varies. varies. It varies. I've been
Okay.
trying. Okay, so in January I'm planning just to eat like no meat, no bread. So vegan catfish is something that I'm gonna be
Well, when you do
having once
that,
a week at least.
save me or I come get a piece. Cause
Yeah.
I similarly, I've been on my journey to try and remove meat and carcass off of my menu.
It's hard.
It's
Especially
hard.
with them steak tacos.
It's hard. It's delicious. And I like a good double cheeseburger, like a real just classic. And so, anytime I find somebody that gets them close,
That sounds good right now.
close.
Oh, cheese.
Anybody can get it close, and it's actually one of my boys, M80. He got this juice company, and he cooked with he substitute mushrooms, all the different types of mushrooms, and make these meats. And I'm like, that look like taco meat.
Mm-hmm.
So I just ain't got the time or the patience to be making somebody just make it for me, and then I buy it from you. Okay, but
Look at
anyway.
that. I'm gonna have to tag some vegan chefs.
Hey, when we coming.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let me give you a scenario, and then you tell me what you would think to cook. Okay,
Okay.
check this out. Not winter, autumn.
Okay.
It's an autumn afternoon.
Okay.
Overdraft, about 60 degrees, but you ain't got to work today.
Okay.
It's just you and your beautiful daughter. But you want to take it up just a notch. Just a notch.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I think I might just. Okay, so one, my daughter is kind of a picky eater.
Okay.
So she like to eat like pesto pasta and shrimp and steak tacos. Now she also eat that
That's
hot dogs
picky?
and mac and cheese and cheese pizza.
Oh, she. Oh, she. I like her. Pesto pasta. Hello.
You know, I had no green stuff till I was grown, so we got exposed to them young. But I'm like, okay, maybe I would make a nice Alfredo because that's something we both could eat. Maybe a shrimp Alfredo. But I would personally maybe want a bowl of chili with all the dressing.
So told
You said dress it up a little bit. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Chili requires beans. I just want to say that.
I thought people in Cincinnati or Ohio knew that.
You would think, but then so in your professional, I want to get back to education because right now I'm working on a big, bold plan for our youth in Cincinnati. And it's called our Empower Youth Initiative. And I'm trying, I have elements where we're doing martial arts and financial intelligence and emotional intelligence training from trauma-informed professionals. Just a whole full spectrum of development. Because a lot of times something is athletic focused, sports focused, or just behavioral focused. So I want to have they've never children have never received 100% commitment from society in America. I've studied some other cultures, but in America there has not been a full commitment to prepare and equip our children in a way that will reflect that we are the richest nation on the globe. In your position, because I want more, because you don't teach, you're a teacher.
Right in my current position, I do a lot of administrative work, so I'm more focused on college counseling.
So you're the boss.
I work with big dogs.
You're the boss. So what is your superpower there? Where do you think your strength lies in the administration? The administrative branch of education.
Yeah. I love that I'm still in proximity with youth. Like, I still have a space, a classroom where they can come in and, I still engage with them. But for me, wanting my aspirations are to have my own school, and that's one of my homework assignments I was working on today.
Okay.
It's just like building a collage with, and when you were talking about like emotional intelligence, and like those were things I wanted to include, like agriculture and like fitness and history, real history that is being erased.
Right
and
now.
So right now, and so like just really making sure that there's a sense of self, a sense of health, a sense of wealth beyond just what is pushed in the media. And so in my administrative role now, I really I'm learning so many things, so when I can open my own school, you do it in a way where I'm learning, okay, I think this was done well, or this is something I can do differently. So just being able to tap into a successful school and learn from those who are
and that's a big commitment. So I commend that approach, because I've seen it actually happen both ways, where it's a successful pilot that turns into an educational institution that actually is producing successful young men and women. And then I've seen it morph into a money grab or a power play, and that is the unfortunate part, because when people come in and they use malpractice or corruption within these positions, it makes it harder for enter Brianna, Miss Black Ohio, who has done the work and put the foot and foundation down for an excellent educational institution, but now it's tainted, and now you got to work extra hard.
Mm-hmm.
Does that ever deter your motion?
I think it just makes me want to do it even more.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it happen. I'm like, this is your heart is not into this. Your pockets are.
Mm.
And of course, who's being impacted? The most vulnerable. And so, how does that impact our future economics of this country? If we didn't invest into the first 5 years like we should have in early childhood education, now in school they're not doing well academically. Now they drop out. Now we got kids on the street. It's just a ripple effect. And I'm not saying education is the end all be all, because I encourage people to learn skills that can help them, or invest in their talents that they are passionate about,
Yes.
And so, not everyone needs to go to college. While I am a college counselor and I do push that, I recognize that there's a diverse set of skills, there's a diverse set of need, and there's a diverse set of talent. And so how can you tap into that network? But as far as seeing institutions kind of take advantage of our youth and see them as dollar signs, it hurts. But I definitely think it encouraged me to really, one, pay teachers so that they're not just showing up to work like I'm just here, and create an environment where it's not like I'm just going to get money. I'm going to get money. I want to be here. I want to serve these
right.
kids. I want to be in community with my coworkers. I want to be in community with my administration. Like, it shouldn't feel
it should be connected. It
down,
should be
right?
connected.
But for us to work really together to be successful, you shouldn't feel like your work isn't valued, or your position doesn't transcend beyond this role.
But to your earlier point, I agree. I think now I've told them they don't have to go get a 4-year degree, but I do feel like it's almost like how the NBA guy, you got to do 1 year of college at least, because you're not even open to. It's a lot of catalysts when you go to college.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you don't uncover the skills until there are catalysts that push you, and a lot of that is we are a peer-based kind of learning society, and I think once you can see representation is key, and also your peers are a collective catalyst to you retaining information, because you don't want to be the one person that is. I wish I would have went to an HBCU. Because I always hear, what's the line? Going to an HBCU, black man, you can dream again. And I went to UC. I still dream, y'all. I still dream, but I can't help but imagine that seeing more kings and queens at it every day would have, everything happened for a reason. But I said all that to say, I think parents, I do think there should be a variety of options for your child once they reach adulthood. And how you do that is you make sure they experience these things. A year of college, if it don't work, what is plan B and C? How do we approach not going to school? Do you got a business plan? Do you got and schooling isn't always traditionally now you can just go get some tech certificates and really pave a way, in coding or AI or automation. So I said all that to say I think 1 year of college should be mandatory because you don't know what you don't know, and I think I won't let them shape that because then they'll be like, Dad, I love it. Then they in school for the next 12 years because they want a PhD. And so I just want to. My goal as a parent is to create an environment where they have options when they're 18, right? As a mother, how are you approaching preparing the future for your daughter?
Okay. I definitely, as I've been working in this new world, I'm learning a lot of new things about what opportunities education have to offer here in Ohio. And so one of them is the College Credit Plus program.
Okay.
College Credit Plus, CCP, is when you can enter your child from the 7th to the 12th grade into college courses. They can take up to 30 credits in college while they're in high school or in middle school, 7th to 12th grade. So that's something I've been thinking about, and that's something I want to continue to encourage families to, take that opportunity. Your year doesn't have to start, and I love that 1 year is mandatory. Try it in high school. Try it when you don't have to. Try it in middle school, or just to see how you, because once you get your foot in there, it's like, okay, this ain't that bad. The water ain't that cold, and then you go swimming, And so that's one program that I definitely want her to experience. And I've thought about it as far as, okay, well, when she does graduate, has advanced, how's it going to impact her college experience? But ultimately, it just means she has more credits. Doesn't mean that she's going to be,
right.
Like she can still have opportunities to take other classes and do things. But financially, you save so much money, whether you're going to be the parent paying or the student paying.
Hello.
And you save time, you save resources.
And just being proactive.
Absolutely.
A lot of times we're reactionary, right? Let's stop doing that. Let's stop waiting until it's to a head and now we gotta figure it out fast.
Mm-hmm.
When you're proactive, you get more comfortable being a decision maker and a problem solver. And that's what I think we all as parents should be trying to raise. The best problem solvers. I'm not trying to raise the smartest. If he might be, my oldest son, he might be the smartest kid in the world. But I will say I'm pulling off of applying as much pressure as my mom applied to me to succeed before I had something passionate to succeed at. Right? I think a lot of us had, I don't know about you, I came from my mom. She wasn't a single mom, but she married my brother's dad, and my dad was gone, so there was a small boy, but I come from she was the rock, and then my grandma, and then her mama. That is consistent in my life, so I come from that matriarchal, structured household. But for me, as I lost older men in my family, and as I did not have as much to emulate as I would have liked to in a positive way, I come to want to take the mantle of leading the family, from the women in my family who have done a fantastic job holding us together. But I just feel like that's my mantle. And like I said, for the longest time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know I had to make her whatever she A's, B's, no C's, no D's. So I think you gotta really allow the catalyst. I was and I don't want to ramble because I can ramble. Y'all know I can ramble, but I read something about a week ago, and it was explaining how, while economic injustice and the wealth gap exists, the success of the child is really dependent on how much investment is in the education, not just early education, but I want to stretch it even further into middle and grade school, but because that's the next level. That early education is first, but that next level. So it's important that we fund this, because this is the most important thing. But we can't do that if we apply pressure all the time. That's all I felt growing up, is pressure to get the A, to get the. Did you feel that?
But I think it's going to be a lot of pressure there, because when you're born into this society that we have, there's a lot of pressure on Black children not to succumb to the projections and the statistics, and so I think
1 in 3.
There's a lot of pressure, and I think it's just that's something we have to acknowledge as parents. Like you said, maybe give that, but apply the pressure, because we want our children to be safe. We want our children to know how to respond when there's police present. We want our children to be able to be comfortable and not just being anxious when they get pulled over.
Anxious.
We gotta really be clear and honest about the realities that they may face just because of their identity. However, I do think that there needs to be not the expectation that you have to to work 3 times as hard as the next person. While that is very much, I'm not gonna say that's not true. So I think your mom, you're successful now. So maybe
I called her down like, well, I should have listened more. But
do you feel like her pressure inspired you to be, or do you feel like her pressure kind of allowed you to be in the position that you are now?
I think without, I can only speculate, but I think without her style, in conjunction with a lot of things, with me not having access to my father, my DNA prototype, I think it was perfect. And although the trade-off was us having communication issues as adults, I'm blessed. So in the scheme of things, you're like, that's why I give, and I always tell y'all to give grace to our parents when we think that other children got it better than us for some reason, because a parent can only teach you what they've been taught. So I cannot give you something that I do not have. And so I just try to make sure that I'm giving her grace as I'm dealing with my shadow work and tying things together. So, but we supposed to break the cycles. We supposed to make it a step at a time. So it should be easy. I think it was right for me. But now that I'm able to recognize the effect that had on me, I can make some adjustments.
You see?
And it won't be perfect.
No.
I'm still going to yell when I don't want to. I'm still going to be frustrated when all that is required is a little patience. And I'm still going to be anxious about their safety all the time. So Um,
But having that in the back of your mind, and just being mindful of your responses, being mindful of, you know, how you engage with them, that's like a power move, because a lot of people just do things and they repeat things and they don't know, like, oh, I'm gonna whoop your ass because you, and it's like, you know, it's like, wait, like,
nah, it's fast. Cause I didn't get an explanation, and I try to, at the very least, get to a moment of clarity between everybody.
Absolutely.
And I think that's key.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta. So now I'm just playing. I got some boys, but they check me in ways, and it's important because that's why I allow them a certain kind of forum where they feel like if my mama here and she hear them talking to me, they might get in trouble. So they know now they gotta tighten up with grandma here. Like, they can't be calling me bruh. They can't be calling me bruh while mama in here. Like, yeah, now don't do that, bruh. And I'm like, bruh. But also when I'm wrong or my action is contradicting my instruction, I allow them to check that. Mm-hmm. Because it's important. Y'all know one of my 3 words for 26 is accountability. It's important that accountability from wherever it comes, whether it's your 6-year-old son, your 3-year-old daughter, she will get you. Yes. They closer to the truth. We distracted.
But I think that's the beauty about being a parent.
Yes.
It's like,
it's a super.
Okay, yes.
It's a super.
Be my mirror. Like, let me see how I can improve. Let me see how I can grow, and remind me of the things that I'm doing well for you, you know? And so I do think we need to encourage our children to speak up. And one, not only because it encourages these habits in the future, you telling your child always, be quiet, don't say nothing. You know, how does that show up when there's harm happening and they don't feel comfortable to speak up? Or how does that show up when they get a new job and their boss is treating them a certain way, but they don't know how to speak up and advocate for themselves because for the longest, parents have silenced them. And so I think it is, and you don't want to hear it. I mean, of course, you get called out in public, you know, it ain't gonna feel good, but you know, it is a good habit, I believe, to encourage that use of voice in youth, especially our children of color, because it's being erased about the things that are happening. And so always reminding them, okay, you know, you don't always just have a conversation. Like, you
I be having to tell them,
no, and
you ain't the boss,
okay,
but tell me, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I'm trying to finesse them, so I'm always saying, look, the only thing I ask as your dad, you know, I love you. I just want you to always tell me everything. Yeah. I'm your best friend, right? And I don't know if they believe me or not.
They probably do.
Some of them, I mean, I don't know if they believe me or not, but I do think it's important that they, like you said, the voice is systematically shuttered in this society. Period, but especially if you a young black kid. So I try not to perpetuate that and to fuel that. So when so the flip side is it might be extra conversations you have to have with teachers and whatnot. You might have to, you know, we might have to adjust some things. Like, the good thing about parenting is, besides the fact that it's a mirror, because you can't lie to yourself. It's just you in miniature form, so you can't really lie. And so I just made it to a place where until one of them smack me, I'm allow them. Nah. They know.
The little baby.
The girl has she smacked me all the time. But the boys, I early, if you do a couple early, no. And which that's funny because we do spar and we do martial arts, but I used to whoop and I don't know what I was whooping one of my sons and my daughter saw me, and she, I don't know, for like 2 days, she had called me the Hulk, right? And she had told her mother that she didn't like when Daddy was the Hulk, and that just tore me little up. That tore little me up. I'm about to cry right now. But at that moment, I really committed to finding. I mean, I think I'm an intelligent adult, and I think that there are a plethora of other ways to connect and reassure our children than striking them. Now, I don't have any teenagers yet, so I'm going to stand by that. Y'all holler at me in 4 to 5 years, and we'll see where we at. But I've taken myself out of that, and I've used my brain and my words and my heart to be able to, in moments where they need discipline and a strong, firm guidance, I want it to be, and what I'm learning is they are far more receptive and capable than we often give them credit for. Even at 3, you probably be like
impressed.
Clutch his pearls, right? I've been clutching pearls for the last 13 years, and so talk to them, communicate, create those communicators. So.
And I'll say one thing pageantry kind of helped me stumble upon is I was able to be a part of the Community Action Agency. And being a member of the Community Council, it kind of really exposed me to different parenting practices like conscious discipline. And that's one thing I've been learning about. It's like, okay, how do we discipline our kids in a way that's more, productive, and stuff. And so I'm learning that too, and I'm figuring it out. I said so I'm learning that too, and so I think that's something I want to in 2026 just be more invested in, because nobody's perfect. There's no book on parenting, but we're doing the best we can, and I mean, there's many successful people that got a good, and that was the only thing they got, but they're successful. And so that I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but there are ways that we can still enforce discipline. And
I do think we soft though. We softer than our parents did.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's okay. It means we healing. Y'all be alright. Yeah. So moving forward, what do you see on the horizon? Because we know that you gonna eventually get Miss World. We know that you're gonna open up a fantastic educational institution. Probably gonna push out a bunch of presidents and CEOs. All of these things, it don't seem like you gonna slow down. I'm just getting that vibe. So what else? Do I smell a book or something? Like, what else? What you got? What you got on the horizon?
Well, my primary, I'm just, taking it one step at a time. My primary goal right now is to graduate because I feel like, I'm gonna be real, I invested so much of my time and energy into education. School was like my plan B for real. And it became a safety net because it's like, okay, well, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
And so it's like, sure. And then I'm like, I don't necessarily need a doctorate degree to open up a school, but I was a McNair Scholar. Shout out to McNair Scholar.
Hello.
And so that you sign a contract, and it's like, okay, well, we want you to do this, and I wanted to commit because that was a great program and exposed me to a lot of great things. And so, while I'm going to use this degree to help, inform me in this role, I just also think that once I graduate, I'll have so much more freedom in doing things that Plan A requires, which is more social media exposure. Showing the world my personality and who I am, and not so all the time. And so I think there's a lot of room for exposure of myself while I am gonna invest in our youth, but I also that's what I want to encourage. If I can't be me in public, how can I encourage the same in my youth? You know, and so I'll be mindful of things I post for sure. But I just want to kind of get into my.
I've been in that bag too.
Yeah.
I've been so. To your point, I'm dealing with a lot of young men, and so in being able to connect what the identity crisis that they're going through needs an authenticity to engage it.
Mm-hmm.
And their superpower is they can smell when you don't care. When you're looking at them like just a number or a dollar amount, or you know what I'm saying? So when those programs come, but for me, and also working in government and corporate America, just from code switching to having to deal with certain fragilities in the workforce, I was just hell bent on not compromising my identity so much, right? But like you said, I'm about to start a news show.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of partners. And while I want to maintain my sense of identity, I also want to consider that there are other brands involved, and we should consider each other. Mm-hmm. And I think that goes back to group economics and just unity, right? On the midst of Kwanzaa, so many principles we should be acknowledging. I think that's where I'm at. It made me lose my train of thought. Because thinking about unity, I always get frustrated and more driven when I think about all the times I try to unite people and small things got in the way. And I want us in 2026 to be completely solution oriented. Mm-hmm. If it isn't a solution, I don't want to deal with it. And so
make me quick to complain. But it's just like, okay. No, I feel that.
Nah, yeah, and I'm also trying to, like, obviously I want to clean up my language, but I also don't want to feel like you know what I'm saying, he ain't him like I know him. Like, where we gonna find that balance, or do we just be intentional and just let it fall, let it be received how it's gonna be received?
I think that is one of my biggest struggles, because working in education, I have to censor myself. You know, I think I'm gonna have to censor myself for the rest of my life, because again, I will always be associated with one education now as a Miss Black America, right, or Miss Black Ohio. You know, like, these things are kind of long. They'll stick with me, and so I have to be mindful. Like, no, I don't want to. You know, I got a select set of group of friends.
Yeah.
And so you can hang out with this group of friends and do things. And the code switch are very, you know, you have different friends you do different things with. Some of my friends like to listen to Sexy Red. You know, some of my friends don't turn that on. But, you know, and so, yes, you can't please everybody.
No.
But you also have to be mindful of who your audience is, you know. And so my audience right now is primarily adults, but when I do plan to, you know, expose myself a little bit more, my students are watching. Like, some of my students follow me on Instagram right now, shout out. And so with that, like, I always have to be mindful of the things I post. Like, okay, I gotta go back to work. Is they gonna, you know, looking at them, hey, they will show you. And so, like, know your audience, I say, would be the biggest thing about how you want to show up. But be true to you, and if that means, you know, you might have to censor a few words or change them up. But if it's getting to the point to where you feel like it's not being, like, authentic or passionate, then you might just have to, I'm not gonna say disregard, but you have to be able to let go. Or, you know, if you're gonna be a teacher, you know, if you might have to let that position go if that's what you want to do. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying that's what's important about knowing yourself, like, and putting in that work to really introspect. Like, I always say the hardest thing Well, the easiest thing for anybody to do is to lie to themselves on a daily basis. To keep it completely a buck with yourself consistently is the hardest thing to do in such a distracted world. That's like tier 3. Like the biggest problems that we as a society is dealing with, especially here in America, is our capacity and our knowledge on taking care of ourselves, right? It's key engaging with kids and the youth and demanding a new expectation without providing the tools they need to produce this expectation, right? So if I want you to take these D's to A's, but I still want to give you red 40 and
it's unlimited tablet time.
Sugar by the wazoo in the morning. All of these things we got to start breaking down and being investigative. Like, kids don't act out just cause. Kids aren't. My baby just cut her bang.
I did that too. That's a natural. Did she have braids?
She got the.
If you didn't catch your bang in your life,
all right,
you ain't.
Oh, okay. I guess
you gotta at least be.
Cuts the bangs. We had a
that's a power move right there.
That's a power move. And so what am I missing? That's where I go first. Mm-hmm. What do I need to pay more attention? Is she seeking?
No, I think it's just I don't know. I don't remember. I remember I did it. My mom put it on the bang. That's kid stuff. But I don't know. Hot Cheetos.
It could be.
But to your point, there is definitely a correlation between what we put in our bodies and how we produce in this world.
Yes.
And especially with our, 0 to 5, our young brains developing, you don't stop developing until we're in our early teens and 20s. And so what we put and what we eat, like that has an impact on our genetic code. And so even when we reproduce, like that has these things impact the next generation. Yeah. And so like I'm planning to do a dry January, and I've been doing this for a few years now where I cut out no alcohol. This year I want to be even more strict because the pageant is coming up in February, and so I'm going to be no bread, and I'm trying to it's tomorrow, y'all.
It's tomorrow.
But it's going to be a time of discipline.
Yeah.
And
lock in.
It's a time of discipline, and as a parent, you have to start being disciplined in your choices. Convenience doesn't always mean this is the best choice.
Right.
I don't feel like cooking right now. Let's go get some fast food. You can make many of things at home that's fast. That's food. Pasta. I mean, I'm not saying everybody got to eat, carbs. Depending on your own lifestyle and your own journey, adhere to what's best for your health. But like there are things that we can make, but we have to be more mindful about the products that this country provides so much crap. And all we gotta do is go to the store and they make it so it's addictive. They make it so we want to buy it. The hot Cheetos are taking the dye out. So many people are talking about, well, I don't really want to eat those because of the look is different. Regardless of the fact that it's better for the health.
Yeah, you know that it's better than your health and something that's hurting you.
It's like you gotta be more disciplined, and I'm not perfect. I'm still, my students. I don't have 2 deals because I'm like,
coming in.
They hold me down. But it's just like, okay, I have seen my family die early in their 60s, and it's like so much life could have been if maybe there wasn't so much substance abuse. Maybe if there were better eating health choices. Maybe if there was less exposure to secondhand smoke and all these things. It's not just adults impacted, it's the kids too. Because again, what we do transcends to what our children do.
And from behaviors down to the actual DNA. Yeah. Like things get passed over when you have children. Like so you gotta the first part is the introspection. So now when you become a parent, now it's the adjustment. Mm-hmm. Right? It's the adjustment on how my whole goal is I know a lot of what they'll be dealing with in adversity. So how do I equip them? Because I remember what was my strength, what was my weakness, what did I need, what was too much, and now I can kind of, and it's still they their own people.
Oh yeah.
They their own people. All you parents living vicariously through your children, stop it. But I do want to make sure that they equipped. That's my whole goal. I just want to make sure that they as equipped as possible to do whatever they want to do, and that requires
inside
investing.
Yeah.
Like what's convenient is not what's right, and it might feel like I do so much. This one little thing. Listen, as often as you can, kick that dough, because it's right on the other side. They say what? How many days? 21 days for a good habit.
Yeah.
21 days for a good habit. At least commit to that. I at least commit to trying. I always like a good fast. We talk about health. I want you to talk to the young ladies, because I always talk about having a self-care routine. In the midst of doing all that you do, what are some things that you make sure that you apply to your self-care routine that keep you rejuvenated and ready to go out there and keep doing what you do?
For sure. One thing I've been trying to prioritize is my rest, because rest is resilience.
Number one.
Resistance. Rest is resistance.
Dang, I like that.
And so I try to I'm not always good at it. My baby should be up sometimes when she need to be asleep, and maybe I should get some melatonin. I don't know. But so I'm trying to rest more, drink more water. Thank you for making me this tea, by the way, because it helps with hydrates. And working out.
The health part, it's, for me, I do a lot of studying, y'all. Y'all know I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I will bring facts to all of my arguments. There has been a nefarious effort to sustain sick individuals, right? It's a multi-billion, trillion-dollar industry.
Absolutely.
And we have to be intentional in 2026 in having tough conversations. And that's whether that's with my family. Like, I got an auntie that's on dialysis. She might be mad when I say you should not drink those grape pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, she loved grape pops, and sometimes you gotta sacrifice some of the things you love most to get to that new you where you can, start to empower yourself again. Because our bodies, shout out to God, right? Our bodies are really capable of, we in here talking and walking, we be talking, walking, and we just doing everything at once. I think we are the greatest AI, because they'll never be able to copy this, but we don't give the credit to God in our bodies as we should. And a lot of my friends that are in the health space, vegan space, clean eating space, you can tell that decision echoes in all of their life, whether it's business, spirituality, parenting, friendships, relationships. It starts to, like you said, what you putting in, it starts to show up in reciprocal ways throughout your life. And I think as long as we remember that everything is energy at its simplest form, then we know that we can start to make decisions that empower us to change our life. And I think that's the conversations that I like to have here. Before you go, I got a couple questions for the culture.
For sure.
I'm gonna ask you a question. You just tell me what you think. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Martin? Martin. So Martin probably 90% right now. Why do you think most of us could? Because both of them was iconic. Why do you think more people probably relate to Martin over the Fresh Prince.
I mean, who do you know that moved out to the hills?
And maybe that's just us, you know?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know too many people.
What's crazy, because, I did have a rich auntie and an uncle. They never sent for me, though.
I mean, I got a rich uncle, too.
They never...
Troy, I was all in Texas. But, just like...
Yeah, it was... Yeah. I saw my real life more in Martin's story. Whether it was Black Love, him and Gina, whether it was like legitimate friendships, like, cause I don't know who came first, Friends or Martin. Probably Friends. I don't know.
What? Living in Color didn't come first?
Living Color, yeah. Now you're right. My bad. That's a classic. I'll be watching that this evening. But okay. And the one thing I get Will, right? What?
Is it Living Color or a different world?
Nah, a different world was the college.
Okay.
That's what we saw in the college.
Okay.
But Living Color was when they was friends. They all lived together. But I think the appeal from Will, he had a lot of culture that still rang with us. Whether it was the jerseys and so he had the fly element. So those of us who were thinking we was fly, that's where we. But if you look, Martin did it too in very subtle. I mean, in a very real way. Like from the Jordans to the Jabot pants to the all the things to the cap. So I just think, it's more relative than we saw Martin. But okay, if you, and I've been asking everybody, if you could write a song with 3 people, who would get those co-writing credits? Neo, why did you want to dance?
He's a phenomenal songwriter. Also, I'm trying to think of just songwriters. So we got Ari. She's a songwriter.
Ari Fletcher.
Ari Lennox.
Ari Lennox. Oh yeah, she cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was with J. Cole for a while. Yeah, she cold. She cold. Okay, all right.
And let's add another male artist just because we're even us out.
All right.
But this is tough. I think I would pick.
Breezy.
Oh, my bad. I thought. No, I think I would pick J. Cole because he is an artist that I listen to and he has a lot of good, real. Or you know what? I'm trying to pick between J. Cole and Kendrick, but I think I would pick J. Cole because of just the stuff he be rapping about is kind of very. Both of them.
I know, yeah. Kendrick, I think you're doing good by picking J. Cole because he gonna be able to kind of write a song with you. As I think Kendrick, he gonna take over the song. I think that's his whole. He make a song. He is like, and I don't like that. If I'm an artist, don't come on my track and take over it.
It's Kendrick featuring.
Yeah. That was my track.
Right.
But okay. And I gotta ask you this because I'm not sexist. So NBA GOAT Michael Jordan or LeBron James. I gotta ask. The people want to know.
They both are legendary, absolutely.
That is facts.
I have to give it to one of the pavers, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. I love
the
you.
Respect on it.
I love you. I'm gonna be a LeBron fan to the end. I think on the court, I don't think it was a lot of people like Jordan or could stop Jordan. So I give him that. But I do think I kind of put Kobe over him. But as far as just the whole spectrum of being a family man, of putting your brothers on, of getting everybody a check, putting everybody
to school.
I think, but I ain't gonna say that. But I think that the standard of man that he created for the young men that look up to him, I think for that he's my GOAT. not on no basketball shit.
And I was trying to think beyond basketball, but you've made some really good points just about it. Because, like, I have one of his books, I promise, and that's, like, the book that we got in our classroom. I ordered, what was it? Teacher, something, one of them. But, yeah, so I was like, I opened a school here in Akron. And I'm like, okay, absolutely. And then I think about, now this is not, I'm agreeing with this. When my initial thought was like, okay, athletics aside, like Jordan has really set a foundation of just like making money. I'm not saying that is, better than investing in the community, because I had to buy me a couple new shoes recently just to be able
and just like Tyler Perry, I think we need to see it. We need to see all of it. So I appreciate that he even in NASCAR now. He just won a lawsuit.
Oh.
He sued NASCAR for trying to shut him out as a black racing company. And they just settled last week because don't play with it.
Okay.
And I for that, and I always think like we need as many lanes as possible. So I feel like if he over here doing this and we don't always agree, that's fine. It's almost like with the current president, like Governor Newsom, people he playing Trump game, like, and I think while he might not be our next president choice, I think we need somebody to play this game so that other people who don't play that game can do what they do without having, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we need to stop thinking that this effort against these systems are monolithic.
Right.
We need to attack it every way that we can. Like, and sometimes you might run into something that you don't agree with, but if we can all just focus on the synergy at hand, I think we can get to more solution than we ever have. Next step, I just want you to look into the camera, and there's some young girls out there. I want you to tell them the importance of finding and living in your authentic self, because that's key number one.
Homegirl. Wait. Let me tell you something. Every shade, every grade, every hair, every fade, that thing is you. As long as you be true, your thing is gonna shine. Not colors, not black, not blue. It's just gonna shine brighter than you. And so invest in yourself. I just made that up on the spot.
I'm like, well, she write poetry?
but like, seriously, love yourself. Love yourself within. Love your hair. Look in the mirror. I encourage looking in the mirror, because not to be like, oh, this is something I want to change, but what do you love? Because somebody's going to love you just like that. And the first person that needs to be is you. Because when you love yourself first and everybody sees how you love yourself, that's just only going to encourage them to respect and even just try to offer you the same love that you can give to yourself. So this one first. You got this. Don't give up. Stay strong, because they watching you. Me too.
They watching. Set the standard. They always watching. Trust and believe. I do think that we gonna need a part two. But this gonna be on the other side after we see y'all, the pageant in February. After we see y'all, we gonna run this back.
Absolutely.
And we gonna talk about the time we had. And after hearing her bars, we might battle rap next time. So thank you for coming. You actually was the first woman that I've had on the show. It's an honor, because I know that young girls are out here looking up to you. You might not know, but it's true. And I wanted to give them their shine too, because as somebody with a bunch of queens in my family, I know all too well the importance of having strong queens around you. And if you don't, I'm gonna pray for you.
Pray and send them my way, because we need to get group started. Like,
No.
you know, and just like breaking cycles, I think I admire the work that you do. I'm very grateful that you had me here, and I'm happy to be able to be on your platform to encourage the youth, you know. And yeah, I'm glad that you're doing the work that you're doing because it's impactful. We see you. Thank you for doing the community work that you do because it is much needed.
And look, as long as people like you continuing to set a new standard and just inspire through action, I think we all need to keep each other accountable through action.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, like you said, if this forever, like a lot of this stuff is, you know, tied to my identity. And so it ain't going nowhere. It's just going to strengthen. So how do I leverage that in a way that I can be effective? So I appreciate you and all the work that you do because I think education is the key. Like, I think we all too often disregard the importance of equipping our children because they will have to solve the problems. There's so many problems that we create and our parents and grandparents have created and sustained. So thank you for doing it. I always say, Army and teachers, thank you for your service. Because I think y'all need benefit. Y'all need to have as many benefits as a soldier going to war. Because the education system is a battlefield right now. So thank you for your work. You do it all and some. And being a mom, which is God body. So thank you for coming. I look forward to our next conversation. Came on, you are stunning. And we wish you nothing but luck, and we will support you for the rest of the time. So thank you, Brianna. Everybody, we will see you next time. I hope y'all have a blessed and abundant rest of your evening. Is there anything else you want to sign off and say to the people?
2026, this your year. Don't waste it.
This yours. Claim it. Name it. Don't let them tame it. We out.